Okay, guys, I am testing to make sure everything's working. So bear with me. Just making sure that I got a good feed and no lag. Let's see. Okay, yes, looks like everything's working. All right, everything's working. All right, guys. So I just had some news that hit my news feed a few minutes ago, and yes, as the title says, new regulations on body armor. All right. I've talked about this in the past, but let me go ahead and read you the article. This one here I've got off of AM New York. There's actually many mainstream medias that are covering this story right now. Okay, headline: Schumer pitches body armor regulations after mass shootings. All right, so this was August 11th, 2019 at 6:56 p.m. is when this was put up. Here's the report. Following the mass shooting in Dayton, Ohio, Senator Chuck Schumer announced new legislation Sunday that would limit civilian access to sophisticated body armor. Under the new legislation, which Schumer said he will introduce after the congressional recess on September 9th, the FBI would be required to regulate sales of bullet resistant vests and other unspecified advanced body armor. Those in law enforcement and certain public safety positions will be exempt from regulations. Quote, we will have learned it is a good number of those who are intent on mass shootings by body armor. They want to kill as many people as possible, end quote, says Schumer. Quote, with the click of a mouse, the scroll of a thumb, the dial of a phone, someone up to no good can do this, end quote. A range of body armor is currently available online for as little as $100. Schumer said standard hunting armor will not be included in this legislation, but did not clarify what types of specialized body armor will be banned from online purchases. Schumer said a civilian criminal record and online history of making threats or violent statements likely will contribute to the person's eligibility for body armor through the FBI will determine, though the FBI will determine specifics. Schumer said his office told the FBI of the legislation, but did not hear from the agency before Sunday's news conference. All right, guys, so they already have in effect, and I know this for a fact here in Florida, that if you are a convicted felon with a violent record, you cannot purchase body armor. Okay, in my case, I can purchase body armor because I do not have a violent history, no drug history, nothing like that. So legally, I can purchase and own body armor. This is nothing to do with criminals getting hold of body armor because there's already legislation in effect. All right. This is to one, they're going to take the guns. Now they want to take the body armor. All right. So they can roll right in on you and take your stuff. So what happens when they make it so that you can't have body armor? Is there going to be a registration where, okay, we got a history that you have body armor, so we're going to go door to door to confiscate your body armor because you no longer are allowed to have it. And because of this reason, now we're in your home. Let's see what else you have that we don't agree with. Guys, this is a huge violation. This is not protected underneath the Second Amendment. But not only preppers, just normal people have body armor for protection of their life. And this is Schumer, Chuck Schumer, at it again. It's the whole Democratic Party. They want to disarm us, have ways that we cannot protect ourselves. So that's the information that came to my newsfeed today, and I really wanted to get that out to you. I am fired up over it. I'm hot over this, which I knew was going to happen. All right. They want to make it so they can come in on you at any time. They don't want you ever having a way to defend yourself. That's, it used to be the government feared the people because we'd get rid of them. We would vote them out of office. They're making it so that you have to do what they say no matter what. Somebody had once said, I believe it was Hoople's cat, had made the comment about, I believe it was, I might be misquoting here, that America was a prison country. As far, not just prison, it's just the way that they force laws on civilians that have never broken the law. Most of you guys here right now are stand-up citizens. Y'all never broken the law. Sure, you may have gotten a speeding ticket once in your life, but you don't deserve to be treated like this. This is ridiculous, guys. I'm gonna check the comments right fast, guys. Looks like we got a handful of people in here tonight. Let's see here. All right. We got Carolina Sky, Swiss Army, South Florida, Prep for Life. All right, guys. I'm glad y'all showed up. I'm gonna read some of these comments here. Infringement from the enemy within. Refuse the microchip implant. Yeah. Joe C. It's just this body armor, man. They're Schumer's trying to push new legislation in where they are going to regulate how civilians and what civilians can own body armor. Logan, exactly. Get it while you can. So they're saying in September 9th is when they go back to, when they get off congressional recess. Sorry, I'm reading off my phone, guys. Then they will be trying to get this legislation through. So, yeah, I mean, trust me, I know body armor is not cheap. The $100 one that they're talking about here is the handgun. I think it stops only 9 millimeter. And you get into the higher range, about $600 for a good rifle, bulletproof vest. And there's, more expensive ones than that. This is to take your protection away so they can force themselves. Guys, if we get a libtard in office, let's say that a Republican does not catch it this upcoming election, we're going to see some crazy stuff. They will be after everything we got. And most of these shootings that are going on, oh yeah, they're set up. Now, did people lose their lives? Yes, they did. And I am not disagreeing with that. I do believe there's an agenda behind these things. I don't think it's what they're saying is why that happened. I believe these are pre-orchestrated and set into play. Level 1 and 2 is 100. They are crap. Logan, yeah, you're correct. The level 3 and stuff, you obviously want to stop something like a AR-15 round. So yeah, the higher ends is definitely what you want for body armor. I'm reading the chat again, guys. I do apologize. Wondered, is this going to continue to happen until we stand up? I think we need a yellow vest movement in this country. You know what? Wondered us, you are right. This civilian population needs to get the government back in check as it was meant to be. They just have it set up right now where they come in your home, they can plant whatever they want to and make you disappear. Prep for Life, how does everyone feel about Spartan armor? I don't have any problem with the Spartan armor. As far as capability, prices are reasonable. I don't have anything against them. Logan, Spartan is good, but can't be reused. Yeah, if I'm correct, Spartan is ceramic. So if I'm correct, I could be wrong on that, but I think it's a ceramic. So a couple rounds through it and it's pretty much useless afterwards, but it will stop that original bullet. and I'm encouraging this to be a peaceful movement. Yeah, Winter Dust. I didn't take that wrong at all. I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, people do need to stand up, but guys, I'm seeing so much with the political side of this. I have shared your live stream on my Twitter. Jordan, I do appreciate it. Thank you, bud. It needs to be get out there. Yeah, y'all are more than welcome to share any videos I have. I have no problem with that. So yeah, no issues there. I have noticed with the political voting people and things like that, guys, these people taking office, I don't believe they're being voted in. If you look at these people are coming out of nowhere, and I am talking about the squad for just an example. These people are coming out of nowhere and getting Congress slots. How the hell does a bartender become a congresswoman overnight? Just a question. All right. So I dug into her past as much as I could find out about who she was running against and things like that. And I saw where people stepped down. That's not winning. That's planned. All right. So yeah, they rig everything. It's going to keep getting rigged until they get what they want. Let's see here. Logan, correct. And they have 500 still. But the French coding comes off first round. Logan, definitely appreciate that. In my current job, which I am medically away from right now because of workman's comp, we do have the what we call it armored steel. It's the 500, and we make the cones for our asphalt silos. Is when we manufacture those, when we fabricate them. They're a hardened steel. Those things are freaking heavy, but yeah, once you crack it, it's done. Just like if I put a certain amount of heat on it, I have to be real careful how I cut these things because it will cause a massive stress crack from super cooling, and they'll shatter. I mean, yeah, it's great for a direct hit off something, but I can manipulate it, and that steel will actually get stress cracks, and it'll fracture. Let's see what we got here. Conservative brew, like Chicago, they will send people around to the voters and will have them sign the petitions to remove them from the ballot. Check it out. I will definitely check that out. Conservative brew. Thank you for that bit of information there. Swiss Army, 100%. Nancy and Communist friends help her for sure. Yeah. Logan, yep. Go with something where the French coding is a soft covering. That is all right. Yeah, Logan, definitely appreciate that information, buddy. Thanks a lot. Feel free to keep giving us information on stuff like this. Jordan, what's a bartender gets in the Congress overnight? That sounds like a political shadow game, in my opinion. Yeah. Obviously, hashtag there. Hashtag. Is a puppet, and most politicians, if not all politicians, are being strung along by someone in the back scenes as far as finances go. So yeah, that does have an effect on American politics, I am afraid to say. Let's see what we got. Sherry, hey, good to see you. Winter Dust, can we make our own, and can we make it in the form of a shield? Winter Dust, are you talking about making your own body armor? I have watched videos in the past where people have made composite chest plates, and I've seen them work for low caliber rounds. I've seen the fiberglass with resin, and it's just about as thick as a Spartan shield, a Spartan plate, but it's not going to stop a 5.62. I mean, it's not going to do it. It's going to cut right through. But now there might be some ways out there, guys. I have not done enough research on making your own type of body armors. But then again, it goes back into play with this new legislation, making it harder for civilians to purchase body armor. What's the next step? What else is in that legislation that's written? Are they going to come to your home to see what else you have? You know, I mean, they make things in writing, get the bill passed with other bills attached to the original. The next thing you know, you're voting for the Patriot Act. The next thing you know, you got microphones and everything, and they download everything that you ever look at. So polyurethane, it may have been polyurethane Prep for Life. I thought maybe it was, I'm pretty sure it was a young guy. He was making it out of a $20 sheet, fiberglass sheet, you know, a regular car automotive repair. And I think it's like a 8-foot sheet that he chopped up, slackered up with fiberglass resin, and pressed it and made a body armor out of that. Now, it did stop the low caliber rounds, but the AR went right through it. How about the backpacks with bulletproof padding in it? Conservative Brew, I do not know. I won't find out anything new about this legislation until hopefully tomorrow. I mean, they're saying, but all right, let me redo the last quote here on this thing. Schumer said his office told the FBI of the legislation, but did not hear from the agency before Sunday's news conference. So we might hear something new about this on Sunday. I know that they are saying that they're going to try to get this passed as soon as Congress comes back from recess on September 9th. So if they can't take the firearms from you, now they're going to take that away from you. And to use the Dayton, Ohio incident to support this is ridiculous. He was dropped within 30 seconds. Okay? So body armor was not a factor. I do not know of any of the mass shooter guys where their body armor that they had kept police from taking them down. I could be wrong, but all the research and stuff that I've done and all the newscasts that I've read about, I never heard that they just kept on going. The only time I've ever seen body armor stop police from taking someone down was the bank job, I believe it was in Los Angeles years ago, where the two guys, you know, they had the homemade body armor for the shields and everything. Those are the only two that I know of that police had a hard time with. And then that helped militarize the police force. Let's see what else we got here in the chat boxes, guys. Use silk and other fabrics and test. Swiss Army, yeah. I'm sure you can make your own type of body armor, guys. Silk I can definitely see because it's a tight, strong fabric. But yeah, obviously you'd be using some type of epoxy resin to seal it. Logan, this here, Cherry Kevlar. Kevlar is definitely nice. Logan, the backpack armor are just a gimmick. There's a reason they want the good stuff out of our hands. Yeah, I believe so, Logan. Jungle Doc, hello from Jackson, Florida. Well, you're not too far away from me. No, you're only a couple hours down the road. Well, up the road, I should say. Logan, the backpacks are just a feel-good measure. Doesn't stop rifle rounds. Good to know, Logan. Yeah, I kind of figured they were like a level 1. Ballistics are crazy. 10 inches of barrel triples the speed. Let's see here. Maybe something that protects but breathes some, but also good for giving you more lift strength. My light brace helps me actually. Okay, I missed something in the chat there, guys. I do apologize. I wasn't quite sure what you were talking about there, Sherry. You know what? Give me a second. Let me grab my mouse from inside. It makes it easier for me to scroll through the chat. So give me 1 second, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. I do apologize for that. And yeah, that report was, there's more mainstream that actually was covering that. That was just the one from AM New York that I pulled up. New York Times has it too. There's actually many. All I did was type in on Google legislation, body armor, and all of it came up. So you can use any of the news report. After this is down, I will attach to the video those reports for you. And now I got my mouse here so I can scroll through and see what I missed here. All right. Give me a good crossbow, arm output, and body brace. All right, Conservative Brew, I hear you on the backpacks being a gimmick, but with all the books in there, with that, help change it from a handgun caliber. Yeah, actually, the books will help out a lot. The handgun calibers will definitely slow down with thick books. I remember my biology book, that sucker was probably 2 inches thick. French Files. Hey, bud. We were just talking about the new post. This one here is from AM New York, but it's all over the mainstream right now. Schumer pitches body armor regulations after mass shootings. They're trying to limit how much availability body armor is for civilians. And they're using the whole Dayton shooter incident as a reason why. So, yeah, that's what we're getting on. Just the way that they word things in these legislations, it would require to regulate sales of bullet-resistant vests and other unspecified advanced body armor. What's unspecified? Whatever they deem necessary when they come for you. I don't like that shady, open clause type of deal. They need to be straight to the point when they try to pass new legislations. A 5.56 round can go through 5 phone books. Doubt a couple books would do it, but I haven't tried it. I have seen a phone book stop 22. I've seen it stop a 9mm. 357 blew the phone book all to crap. So I have seen it work on very low calibers. All right, let's see what else we got here. Joe C., the Sebring bank shooter, had a vest but surrendered after negotiations went. They busted through the doors. Yeah, this has nothing to do with the shooters. I mean, like I said, the Dayton shooter, and that's the one that they're putting up for excuse for this. They dropped the guy in 30 seconds. All right. Again, the only history that I know of as far as shoot 'em up, bang bang, and mass effect was the bank robbers in California years ago when they had the full set of body armor all over their body, and the police had to go and get better equipped firearms from a gun store. So yeah, this isn't, something's going on, guys. They are getting ready for something. And if you take civilian weaponry from them, you take means of defense away from them, you take body armor from them, something that they have a way to stand up against an oppressive order, everybody's sheep then, because they have no way of defending themselves. And if they try, they're just going to get mowed down. What are they going to do? Throw a cell phone on the ground, say, oh, it looked like a gun, I was in fear for my life. That one right there gets me. And I believe there are many good police officers. I have seen many body cam videos where they have dropped somebody and there's no gun, walking up to a fence with a report that somebody was shooting or something. They were trespassing in an abandoned building, and it was a kid with a BB gun. When the cop was walking up to the fence to the backyard, he was even on his body cam talking on the radio saying, yeah, it sounds like a cap gun or something. I'll look into it. Well, he finds this little tiny hole in the fence. It's a wooden fence. He sticks his gun through the fence, so he's seeing the person, and yells, throw it down, throw down the gun, lift up your arms, and just pow, 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 pow. The shooting took less than 3 seconds. All right, if I'm in a fenced-in yard and somebody starts hollering, something like that, I'm going to look around, try to figure out where that noise was coming from to begin with. Yeah, so it was a BB gun in a closed-in fenced yard. Just like I saw very recently where police shot through a man's side window of his door. This is crazy. And like I said, there are some good cops. But if you're that fearful to do your job, go work at McDonald's. All right. This homeowner had set off a emergency alarm in his home. So police responded. One officer. He walks up to the house. The door's here. He's got the little side windows on the side of the frame. He looks in. He walks off, comes back, looks back in. Well, this time you can actually see on his body camera, you can see a man walking around inside the home. Cop throws his big spotlight on, pulls his gun. He stands to the side so he can't be hit and unloads. Well, he didn't unload. He shot multiple times and hit the person inside the house. Turns out the person inside the house was the homeowner. He was unaware. I mean, he knew his alarm went off, but didn't know the police were on the way. And he just got shot by cops through the outside of his home. Now, he did have a firearm. He had every right to have a firearm. And there was no reason for this. But the reason I'm upset about this, because the first report, this is Simpsonville, Georgia or South Carolina. The Simpsonville, though. It recently happened. It was June of last year. They're still dealing with it in the courts. Originally, the police officer said that he walked up to the home, rung the doorbell, and a man approached through the door with a gun drawn at the cop, and the cop had to respond by shooting because he was in fear for his life. Straight lie, and the body cam proved it. That's what gets me. And to think that that's not going to happen when everything else goes around, when they start doing gun confiscating and possibly body armor confiscation. Yeah. All right, let me get back to chat, guys. Instead of my little rants there. Okay, yeah, I missed a lot, guys. I do apologize. Let me go back and try to read here. All right. Save yourself, sheeple. If only this had crossed my mind a couple years ago and I'd gotten 3+ with full frag coating, 11 by 14 curved plate. Side plates. Yeah, even side plates would be great too, because it's not always going to be directly in a chest thing. I mean, have an extra, but I do understand those things are freaking heavy, guys. You better not wear camo if this is what's going to happen. Best to avoid showboating. Yeah, Sherry, exactly. I do have camo. I got a lot of hunting camo, things like that. But I don't wear it around public. That's part of my whole bug out stuff. And yeah, I don't walk around to the 7-Eleven full in camo. I'll tell you that much. Logan, save yourself. That's a good start, but it's up to the 4+ now. It seems they are trying to weaken us for some reason. Yeah, Sherry, it does. The more you look into things, and most of us not even having to look into it. Most of it's just so blatant in our face that it's like they don't care. Look what we're doing. You can't stop us. And that's not how the U.S. government was set up to be run. And that's where it is now. And I'm not here trying to do no rant on anti-U.S. government or anything like that. I love this country. All right. I'm very thankful that my family immigrated here many generations ago. But they did it legally. And I had to get that one in. Sorry, guys. But the way the government's set up, the way it's constantly fighting and eating itself, I'm not agreeing with that. It's designed, this new design with it's just tearing itself apart. So what happens when our government fails? I mean, or they decide to turn on citizens? Well, there's plenty of instances that they have turned. So things are happening. I don't know exactly why. I believe I do. I mean, they're preparing to make us do whatever they want to. They're going to enslave the civilian population. Now, we could get into the whole taxes. All right. Yeah. Taxes were not designed for the average civilian. It was designed for businesses and trade, not for you working and killing yourself every single day just to put food on the table. But somehow they got away with that one. All right, I'm checking the chat now, guys. I do apologize. JT, sorry. Hey, JT, good to see you. Looking down clothing constantly. Heard about that coward cop. Yeah, Logan, I had actually, guys, done a video on that, and I just got finished exporting it. I was done editing, and basically I just took a collage of all the body cams that were released. And I was going to make the video, but I didn't want to sound like I was anti-police. I'm not. We have to have law enforcement. I'm anti-dirty cops and dirty cops covering up for dirty cops. That's what I don't like. And unfortunately, there is a great deal of that in this country. Now, are there good cops? Yes, there are. There are some really good cops, but there's some bad ones too. And that goes back into, there's bad in everything. But having that shield and then be protected after knowing that these people had done wrong and covered up, that's not good. That's not good for civilians at all. All right, let's see what else we got going on in the chat here, guys. They try to set up people to happen to have a gun accessible or its availability at the right time. Sherry, yeah, you're very right. All crooks answer the door. I skipped that. Hold on. Sure, all crooks answer the door when cops knock. What an idiot. Yeah, JT, exactly. JT, I'm a second generation from Ireland. Oh, okay. Yeah, ours went back. My dad's side of the family, 5 generations, and my dad's side of the family is Irish, Dutch, and German. My mom's side of the family is German and something else. Oh, we got some Cherokee in us. It's such a low number. I don't even know how many generations ago that was, but well, within 5 generations. But yeah, we're mutts. Let's see here, Logan. I run what the military has. That way the playing field is even. You know what, guys? And that's exactly how things should be. If for law-abiding citizens that have never broken the law, and I'm not talking about a traffic ticket, I'm talking about a felony record, has never broken the law and received a felony or anything like that, they should be allowed to have protective equipment that is the exact same as police. All right. Now, some of the military grade stuff, we don't need stingers and stuff like that. But I hope you understand what I'm saying on that. We should have the ability to defend ourselves. That's one of the reasons the Second Amendment was written was to protect ourselves from an oppressive government. Now, if they take all your stuff and they've got all the nice stuff, and you're sitting there with a single shot 12 gauge, but now you can't have anything but birdshot, pretty much screwed. So, my oldest son is 1/16 Cherokee. Yeah, my number's probably even lower than that, to be honest. We can't even really trace back to when that happened. They just keep on saying about the cheekbones and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I don't really know what ancestor I had. I know it came in on my dad's side of the family. I'm not going to try to pull a Pocahontas on you guys. I'm not claiming anything like that. All right. Let's see what else we got here. South Florida, we were all slave to the grind. Yep. I mean, it's just the way it's set up. I mean, you have to be. To an extent. Let me put it that way. To an extent. Am I calling for things? No. If I did that, this channel would get shut down real quick. All right. All right, conservative brew, instead of yellow vest, don't call me at FUD, please. Oh, my screen's scrolling here. But an orange vest movement, since it's the government mandated item used in hunting with firearms. Oh, good point. I don't know what all that racket is on the street. But, all right, so like I said, guys, I will put that link up for y'all when we get off here. It takes a couple minutes to get the replay to load up and everything, but I'll get it back up for you guys so you can take a look at it. Again, like I said, just go to Google and type in legislate body armor, and all those reports will come up. All right, just here. Movement, not midnight. Got you there, conservative brew. My question is, why we can't go against the government? So what will we do? South Florida, that is a very good question. Hopefully you guys can actually see that comment there. And I really wish I can elaborate without getting in trouble on that one. Okay, I can elaborate on that one. Look at American history. Look back to the great battle between brothers. That's going to be the only answer on that one. And I hate to say that we're going to have to do that, because it's not our brothers that are in a different state that's a problem. We know exactly where the problem is. And yeah, that needs to be addressed. Sure, petitions, what do they call it, protests, things like that, they're good for cameras. Nothing gets done on that. The only time any of those protests ever work is when you are pushing a leftist agenda and it affects a business income. That's the only time it ever affects any of that stuff. So yeah, it's a tough one. We really do know what needs to be done, but if you talk about it, then you are a domestic, you know what. So even that, guys, you have to be careful what you say. Now, I had some subscribers contacting me, especially with this whole Antifa stuff, the movements and stuff that they're doing recently. And they had offered, I've been trying to access them by membership and things like that, so I can kind of get on the inside and know what's going on. And I told them, whoa, don't do that, because now you are associated with that movement. And yeah, the FBI is watching those type of people. And you being a prepper too might not be good for you. So yeah, just got to be smart on how you say and sometimes research some things, guys. See what else we got here. I use Spartan Armor rigs out of Tucson for my body armor needs. John, yeah, we just had a couple guys talking about the Spartan Armor. Yeah, even having any type of body armor is going to be a good idea. Especially, I just don't know, guys, what's going to happen later, because when they sit there and leave it open on their legislation and other unspecified advanced body armor, what does that entail? When they pass these legislations and stuff, they leave it so vague that they can use their, I would say discernment, but it's not, their agenda to do whatever they want to. So, yeah, we got till September 9th when they go back into from recess, and Schumer's already saying that he's going to push for it. They want to take your protection away. I watched Bear Independent this morning. Man, my screen just jumped. Hold on. Ryder Dust. I watched Bear Independent this morning. Was he discussing this? Is it live? Would people be drafted in STHP? Parker, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you're asking if people will be drafted in the military during shit hits the fan. A military draft is possible. So yeah, I guess it just depends on what type of situation it is. If there is a foreign government forcing themselves onto the American people, yeah, probably. If our government tries to do the exact same thing, and there is a civil war on American soil, Very possible too. Yeah, it could be a replay from our history books on that. Let's see what else we got here, guys. Fallout Shelter. What's going on, bud? What are you doing awake right now? You're usually doing your videos in the middle of the night at 1 o'clock in the morning. I know you got to be exhausted. It's good to see you, buddy. Let's see here. We need the right skilled person. Okay, I'm trying to scroll through, guys. I don't mean to jump around there. Every time I hit the button, the whole screen jumps on the side here. All right, ham radio operator. Anyone have these skills? Good question, Sherry. I am not. I do not have a ham radio. I've got a CB. I've got two-way radios. One, the association here where I'm at, we can't erect anything. Also, I can't even have a fire in my yard unless it's contained in a grill or a fire pit. So yeah, my bread making video that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be using charcoal biscuits for that. But hey, I'm only allowed to do so much where I'm at right now. You know, shit, it's a fan of a different story, but right now you got to obey the law. Don't be scared because he's gruff. Don't pander to your feelings. Logan. Yeah, I used to be a Patreon, paid Patreon member to Bear Independence channel. I had to cancel that this month here. We had some financial things going on. My kid's birthday. I have two sons, and both of their birthdays are in August. So I had to cancel out a lot of my Patreon subscriptions. You know, it's only about, well, I'm Patreon subscriber to like 60 patrons. That's $60 a month. So yeah, I had to make some cuts. No, I have nothing against Bear at all. He's a real good guy, very knowledgeable. Let's scroll up to my comment earlier. Oh, did I miss something, Logan? All right, let's see what else we got here, guys. I do apologize. We won't need them. DARPA's got swarm drones. Yeah, Fallout, I did see your video on that, on the drones that they're working with. And I've also seen where they're doing nanotechnology, insect sizes and stuff like that. When it comes to those nano robotics that they've got, it makes me wonder if they're going to use that for warfare against countries as far as tear down agricultural areas. Because, I mean, it looks like a swarm of something going in. No one's really going to pay too much attention, but I don't know. That's your department, buddy. I do not have enough intel or research to get into that. That's why I go to your channel and watch. You got a lot of good insight on that thing. Conservative Brew, the people that do not feel safe in this country should ask for refugee status in other countries. Our Constitution should not be infringed upon other feelings. Conservative Brew, yeah, I see what you're saying there, and I agree to you apart. These people pushing these things, they're not Constitution at all. They're trying to pass laws and legislation bills over their feelings because they don't want their feelings to be hurt, or they don't want you to infringe upon their beliefs and lifestyles. But they're going to take away your beliefs and your lifestyle, and that's okay because you don't agree with them. So your stuff has to be taken away. So I don't know how that works. It's the whole crazy libtard dual hemisphere in the brain thing that they got going on. I mean, some of the things they say, you know, everybody's the same unless you injure this person or do something violent against this person. Then you're going down for a hate crime. And because that person's special, but we're all the same and everyone needs to be treated the same. So if I knock the crap out of somebody and it turns out he or is something that, labeled now. Now I'm going to get harder time for that, even though I probably didn't know that at the time. Freaking crazy, guys. This stuff's getting bad out here. It's happening quick, and it's happening right in our face. Okay, they're not even trying to hide most of the stuff. That, years ago they tried to pass a bill, and it had 9 other things attached to it. I remember sitting back watching bills and stuff, and voted for certain things to go into play, and then it gets swatted down. I'm like, dude, what's going on? That was perfect. And then I learned how the process works, because that's not the only thing that they were pushing. Yeah, we'll let you sign that bill, but you have to approve this other stuff that we're attaching. So then they got, no, we're dropping it. And they just do that every single time. Nothing ever happens. And it's frustrating, guys. It really is. All right, let's see what else we got going on here, guys. We the people are America, not our government. Conservative, yeah. We are the American country. We got a government that is forcing their will onto the people. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. Love my country, don't trust my government. Yeah. Not as far as I can throw. And right now with my arm, I can't throw very far. Please tell me you didn't ditch high vibrations. Oh, yeah, but I'm not going to get into that again. But yeah, I hope he's very happy. I wish the best for him and his family. But yeah, I couldn't stay with what was going on over there, guys. Hey, come on, guys. Let's calm down. I mean, no sense in getting all into that. All right, let's see what we got here. It said you have give them whatever they want, but it's okay to take from us. Yeah, exactly. It's just the way it's set up, guys. Sherry, you make a good point, and it's ridiculous. I was just reading a report today, and I was talking to my wife about if I was going to do a video on it. It was the whole, I believe it's Illinois. Yeah, it was Illinois. They have passed a bill there, the state has, that they will be teaching LGBTQ LMNOP history in private schools. Luckily, this bill only covers private schools, so homeschoolers and things like that are protected. Same with private, but the public schools. Sorry, I think I said private. The public schools. So private and homeschools are safe from this. I'm going to run this by you guys. Me personally, what a man and woman does in the safety of their bedroom, of their home, is their business. All right. I have no problem what people are, but when you bring it out in the open and try to force it on me, then I have a right as an American citizen, as an individual, to either allow you to or rebuttal it. They're forcing it nonstop. Now, you're forcing it on children. Now, let me throw this one by you. If I, as a 40-year-old man, white guy, walked into a middle school, or no, because they're not doing middle school, they're targeting young. I go and first grade, second grade school, and I want to talk about my sexuality. I would be labeled as a pedophile, a predator, right off the bat. Even though just speaking normal stuff about how humans and animals reproduce and how nature is set up. But I'll be labeled, crucified, and then I'll want to be a sex offender. But now they're going to force this onto, you know what? Whatever you keep in your home, that's your business. Don't force that stuff on my child. That stuff is my right as a parent to discuss with my child if I see it deemed necessary. They're always trying to force this crap on us, and it's getting worse and worse. JT, President Trump line item veto. Oh, I just jumped through the chats really far, guys. I do apologize. Let me back up here. See here, I started studying for my ham radio test, but dropped it when my husband got sick. He was a 30-year ham radio operator. Oh, that's pretty cool, Cherry. Yeah, I've never messed with ham, so that's really new to me. I don't have the equipment or anything like that. Logan, okay, Logan, I see what you're saying. Yeah, guys, whatever. I appreciate that, Logan. You know, whatever's going on there, guys. You know, let's just all let whatever it is just drop. Okay, guys. I'm not sure what's what there. Fallout shelter, not if you dress as a woman. You know, I hate to say it. God, I'd make an ugly chick. You know, sideburns and all. I'm not shaving them. Schools have turned into political indoctrination. Yeah, Logan, absolutely, man. Google Classroom is free for a reason. There are apps to help you study. Yeah, guys, there. I have seen a lot of the at-home study courses. I was homeschooled for a good part of the late years of my. See, I was in 8th grade. Is when I got pulled out of public school and was put into homeschool. And that's one of the reasons I was able to graduate early, because I'm there at the house and I have all my study books there. So all I had to do was study, get done. Now, did it affect me personally as my interaction with people in my later life, like going into the workforce, stuff like that? Yeah, it did. I'll be honest with that. I was more standoffish from people, mainly because I wasn't exposed to people. But I won't just blame homeschool for that, because personally, where I lived at, there was no one around. Okay, so it kept me from getting in trouble. I mean, I've gotten in grade school trouble before because I got a temper on me. So I'm not talking bad about homeschool at all. I'm just saying I think it did affect some of my social skills. But you know what? Sometimes I just don't feel like being social. All right, so what we got here? Hey, Elvis. Yeah. Logan, John said Bear Independent is a cult and a liar. Guys, I don't know what's going on with that. John Hushkin. Okay, there you are. Guys, I don't know what's going on with that there between you guys. I'll give you my stance on Bear Independent. I have no problem with Bear Independent. I like the guy. Like I said, I usually do my Patreon subscription to him. This month we had to make some cuts because my kids' birthdays were this month. I found a lot of his information very useful as far as the prepping. I know that he uses he does a lot of religious things on his channel, and that's fine. If I don't agree with that personally, I avoid those particular live show if I don't agree with them. But as far as prepping videos and homesteading videos and talking about groups and community, I found it very useful. So that's my stance on that, guys. I don't know where the cult and liar part is, but you know, that's just my stance, guys. And if we could probably drop that issue, that would be pretty cool with me. If y'all down with that. Okay, what else we got here? Sorry I hurt your feelings. No, John, you didn't hurt my feelings at all, man. I mean, we come here to talk about stuff. You know, everything's cool. Let's see here. try to catch up here. Fallout Shelter. It's the only prepper channel. No drama in that. Oh, you know what? Fallout. And I did slip back a couple of days ago when I addressed that one individual. Yeah, so I learned from my mistake on that. I'm not going to use this platform for that reason, because I did sink into a hole there that I should have never stepped in. So yeah, I'm trying to do better. You know, I am human, but I did catch myself. I got a lot of comments from everybody, which was good, and basically, I just didn't need to go there, so I did. All right, yeah. Let's see here. I have to pull away and put the little ones down. Beat me to it. Thanks again. He is a good dude. Wait a second. Prep for life. You put the little ones down. I hope you mean that you put them to bed. I'm just joking with you, buddy. All right, I'm just kidding around with you. CFP stream. Can we please focus on questions for CFP? Yeah, guys. Definitely hit me up with some questions. I am going to be doing a video here, not just the Dutch oven one. I was on Alaska's Prepper channel this morning. He was doing a live stream, and he was talking about community prepping, things like, you know, he's talking about a lot of different issues. And I had mentioned something about, let's see if I can remember exactly what I said. I watch a lot of videos, guys. I had mentioned something about when dealing with trying to get people for a community, as far as don't be afraid to ask for identification if they have a skill set. Full spectrum survival just covered this. Don't be afraid to ask proof for that skill set. And mainly I bring that up because of my recent run-in with that other guy who also will not be named. I did a collaboration video with this individual, and it turns out he was a crook. So, well, he's being investigated, so I can't really say he's a crook without conviction. But, so I'm going to work on a video talking about building community. All right. Now, I never said he cannot be a lone wolf prepper at all. I've never said that. I just said it's much more difficult. Okay. So don't get me wrong in that department. But I'm going to do a video later about how to reach out and talk to people. And I did have a question. I believe it was Josh Connor, actually. I believe it was your question about how far is too far when trying to work with somebody, you know, to be in your group, to be considered them family, stuff like that. Logan. Yeah, Logan. I do remember when Bear came to Panama City. I had family in Panama City when that hurricane came through. I think it was more on the beach side, but yeah, I do remember him going out there. Josh, yes, it was me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up, well, not right here, but when I do my video, I'm going to pull up destinations by Google Maps. Okay, you know how Google Maps, it allows you to pick drive by car, by bus, by walking, you know, a little selection. All right, so basically I'm going to break that down to, and I like to look at things in the worst case scenario. Granted, vehicles might be running. We don't know what type of shit hits the fan is going to come our way. But I want to prepare for the worst of it. So what I do is, just like our refill station for our supplies when we're bugging out to our bug out location, I have it set at 4 days worth of walking. That way I don't have to carry as much stuff when I'm bugging out. Now, and also we have the supply buckets in between drops. Now, when you do the Google thing, they give you a destination. Okay, let's, for example, Tampa is like 1 day and 7 hours by foot. That is if you're walking nonstop for 1 day and 7 hours by foot. If you are carrying gear and you're not used to forced march, or there could be bad situations where you are not able to continue walking for a while, you have to stop and wait. I really think people need to break that down to an 8 hour a day thing. So when you get your time, it says 1 hour, 1 day and 7 hours, you know, 31 hours, divide that by 8. Okay, now you're pushing close to 4 days if you're walking 8 hours a day with all that gear. And I think slowing that down, that time down, gives you extra ability as far as being able to watch your surroundings. You're able to move slower and think without, I got to be here in a day because Google Maps said so. So using that, and you have somebody that wants to join the community, you can actually plan out, well, worst case scenario, if they're on foot, how long will it take them to get to me, or a rendezvous point where I can reach them. So we're going to discuss that in an upcoming video on that. So there's a lot of stuff. I know a lot of us are spread out, so taking that in consideration will help make a decision on accepting somebody that is further away. It's nothing against that person, but you have to look at logistics. All right. Now, you also work on options. Okay. So what if it's something that you can drive your car? Then that person has the ability to come to you. But if it's a situation where that vehicle is not going to be able to get to you, and it's going to take them a week to 2 weeks to get to you, if you want that person in your group, you need to work on plans, maybe even survival buckets, stash points, things like that, so they have a way of getting to you. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. At least I think it will be. What else we got here, guys? Hopefully in the future you will have many subscribers, then you can pull people together. That would be cool. As you know, I like FSS. Yeah, Full Spectrum Survival, guys, is a great channel. I've been watching them for a good while now. Brad and Kelly there are awesome people. Michigan, I'm looking for like-minded people, individuals. Yeah, Sherry, I do have some contacts in around that area, not dead center of Michigan. I'll make some calls for you and see what I can come up with as far as groups nearby, and see if we can pull some type of network for you, at least having a secondary or something like that. And then, of course, you will have a option yourself to if you're going to join these people or not. I do know some people that's around close to Michigan there. So definitely hit me up in the email, and I'll get that intel to you. What else we got here? Conservative. We need someone to start a website so liberals can house swap with conservatives from conservative states. Liberal states. Tarmac, Florida. Josma 7111. Hit me up on my email. It's centralfloridaprepper@hotmail.com. Make sure you put your YouTube handle there in it, and let me look. I actually know a great deal of communities here in Florida, and let me take a look to see who's around you, and I'll get some information to you, and you can make that decision on if you want to join these type of people or not. So yeah, just make sure you hit me up with an email there. I'll be a way station if people need a place to stop. I want to make a go-to spot. I want to make a go spot be good. It'll be good to have a safe zone to go to. Yeah, Sherry. Yeah, if that's what you feel like maybe your calling is for, yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't embrace it. Just be careful and use a lot of discernment when you have people coming up to you, especially during shit hits the fan. So it will definitely go down to communication. So as you mentioned, ham radio, I encourage you to follow up on that so you have the ability of communication. So that would be a huge asset for you and other people. Joe's now Lone Wolf. I'm moving to Alabama this weekend to 12 acres. Logan, congratulations, buddy. Why is my screen jumping around? Okay. Tarmac is in South Florida, USA. Silly rabbit. I know people in South Florida too. I know people in the Panhandle. I was born in the Panhandle. I was raised in North Carolina. I got family in the Panhandle. I know people in Tallahassee. Yeah, this old boy does have some connections. So definitely send me your intel, and I will find out who and what's around you, and I'll put you in contact for you to follow up if you want to pursue that. Let's see here. What else we got here, guys? All right. JT, I'm in Brevard County. Actually, I know a handful right there in Brevard County, JT. All right, guys. So, like I said, if you are looking for community stuff like that, send me an email, at least with the state you're in. You don't have to give me your town, nothing like that, due to OPSEC. And I will find what people, contacts that I know in that area. I mean, I can't make promises that I will know every area that has somebody. I know quite a few though. I've been all over the United States as a welder. Been welding since I was 17. So I know quite a bit of people. But yeah, just send me your intel if you're looking for a group that you're not part of yet, or if you don't have a group, and I'll see who's in your area, and then I'll email you back that information, and then that'll be up to y'all if y'all want to pursue with that group or not. That way your intel, your OPSEC still secure, but you have a little bit more options and you can make your own decisions. Let's see what we got here. Is someone playing an air hockey table? No, prep for life. It just rained here, and what they call the Florida room is a tin roof with very, very thin insulation. So every time the rain drops on it, it sounds like someone's hitting something. That's why I wasn't in the shed, because there is no insulation. It's like straight tin roof, so that's even louder there. So that's what that noise is. I mean, actually, it's the frat boys playing Pong over there. No, it just rained here a little while ago. Let's see what else we got here, guys. All right. Central Oklahoma has constant quake activity on the American Plate fault line. I was in Franklin, North Carolina for work years ago. Beautiful countryside. Yeah, I was raised up there on the western side. I was a foothill mountain boy. I don't know, half and half. I was in Hamptonville, North Carolina for a good while. Then we moved to Boonville, North Carolina. It's all Yadkin County. Just go up to Stone Mountain State Park. I know there's one in Georgia, or is it South Carolina? But we got a big one there in North Carolina. Waterfalls, whole 9 yards. Last time I went there, they have pea gravel paths so people can go up the mountain in wheelchairs and crutches. When I was a kid, there was no path. You found a trail, and that was your path. I mean, they even got stairs put in now. They got gates up so you can't get to the waterfall. We used to go to the waterfall and fill up our canteens, but funny how time changed. But I want to start welding myself. My dad thinks I'd be great at it just from picking up things in the mechanic shop. Glad he let me play with his tools. French files. Yeah, I'm actually a third generation welder. My granddad was, and my dad was. My dad he retired from it, I don't know, a couple years back. But he's got bad eyesight now. So far, my eyes are still 20/20, but I do feel my eyes get strained more often than when I was young. My best recommendations for you is basically what I did. I don't know if they still have Pell Grants or not. That's what I had used when I was young. When I was 17, I was working at Walmart, and my Pell Grant went through, and I went to Surrey Community College there in Dobson, North Carolina. As far as I know, they don't have a welding course there anymore, but they used to. And I went to weld there. It's a 1-year certificate. You learn stick, MIG, TIG. You also took blueprint drafting and basic mathematics. So it was all covered. I think the Pell Grant was $2,300 at the time. I don't know what it is now, but I definitely recommend, especially just starting out, just to learn the basics through welding school, and then you build on it. Every day as a welder, you are always learning something new. I mean, I'm pretty good. I've been doing it for a good while. That little jack leg that was talking crap about me started saying something about that. Even with a felony record, you can get some very good welding jobs. Welders are not the nicest people. We deal with a lot of heat, a lot of strenuous activity. Nobody really wants to be a welder. You're not. I mean, they have welding jobs where you're sitting down at a table just doing a little, a little TIG welding. Um, I might be going back into that. I used to work for Micro Flex up in Ormond Beach. I was TIG welding for them. I've TIG welded everywhere, especially with pipe. But yes, I've always been able to get a job, no matter what decision I've ever done in life, whatever backfired on me. Having a trade is definitely something good. I will recommend learning the orbital welding, is what it's called. I ran into it in Arizona when I was living in Mesa. Um, Filled out an application. I got called in and asked if I was an orbital welder. Of course, yeah, man, I can do it. I said, where's the stinger? It's a robotic welder. I had to know how to run the computer, and I didn't know anything about that. But times have changed. There's a lot of use and good money in that. But I'm just an old stick welder. I first learned how to stick weld. That's what I recommend any welder to learn how to stick weld. Learn that 6-10 rod and that 70-18. Then learn your MIG flux core. Hardwire, everybody does hardwire. It's the easiest thing in the world. And then learn your TIG. Stainless is easy to do. Aluminum, it's a little bit finicky, but once you get the practice done, easy. It's nothing to it. And I've always been able to have a job as a welder. All right, guys, what else we got here? There's good money. Yeah, there is good money in welding. You do get hurt. I'll be honest with you. I've been hurt many times as an iron worker and stuff, and out in the shipyards. Just recently, that's why I'm hurt right now. All right, I found a video this guy made several years ago about changes to expect, and several came true, like the jet stream stopping, then it shifted. Sherry, if you still have that link, definitely send it to me by email so I can check that out. But Mesa, that's my home city. Yeah, I lived in Mesa for about a year. I actually was working for a ironworking company. We're putting up a new building. I was building the material in the shop, and they were hanging it at the time. I was actually trying to get on with the copper mines out in Miami. I believe that's the city there, Miami, Arizona. All the copper mines out there. And I never did get hired on with them for the copper mines. So then I moved to, went up to North Dakota, worked out in North Dakota, got up some extra money, and moved back down to south of Tucson. I was near Nogales, and that's where I bought my first property, was down there. And then I later got picked up and did some jail time. So, yeah, lost all that. It sucks, but it happens. I just make sure I don't break the law anymore. Let's put it that way. All right, guys, so we are at 1 hour and 13 minutes. I am going to go ahead and shut down. It's almost 10 o'clock here. So I will work on those other videos I was talking about this week. Like I said before in the last video, my schedule has changed for my physical therapy. They changed my timeline. So those will change too. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all showing up. And again, I will put those links to those stories about the body armor for y'all in the links. So y'all have a great night, and I'll speak to y'all later.